And we are live with this week's episode of Beyond the Mountains of Madness. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Laugh Love Lindy. This is season 2, episode 2, or like episode 17, just overall. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna say who we are, who will be playing. Obviously, I'm playing everyone that isn't these people. So we're just gonna chuck it on over to, Mr. Crumpler64 over here. Point. There we go.
Hello everyone, I am Crumpler64. I'm playing the character Baxter Wiggins, artist hired as a cartographer in this expedition. So many things going through. It's been less art and just continues becoming less and less art as we go along, and it's where Baxter's going through conflicting emotions because he believes he may be the cause of a certain character's death.
What? No. That's, entirely possible. So we're going to move on down to Jimmersion. How are you doing today?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, back here. Another episode, Tentacle Tuesday, Cthulhu Fatagan, all that goodness. We need some today. Yeah, I'm Jimmersion across the internet, and here for this episode, as usual, I am Hunter Merrill, the outdoorsman, barely surviving survivalist. And let's see, we've got a lot to deal with today, so let's get into it. I'm ready.
Yes, I mean, a lot to get to. Some mourning. There's a whole can of worms going on right now. So we're gonna pop on over to Little Cup of Joe.
Hey, it's me, Jess, Little Cup of Joe. I'm playing Lena Stoddard, the resident archaeologist who has definitely been having a day. I think it's been like one day, and best friend died, founder boyfriend, who she thought died, and now Sebastian is also dead, and I don't know how well she's gonna hold up, but we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, sanity is a fleeting thing, honestly. I mean, at least in Call of Cthulhu.
Do you need sanity, though, when you can read Elder Script?
I mean, right? Elder Cipher, sanity. So, we're going to speak with someone who is the world's best shot in the world. Restarter.
I am
the world's best pilot. I think it's pilot.
I can no longer say I'm the ace pilot, ace shot anymore, unless you're a drunk woman on the ground. You're probably gonna be okay. I play Hayden Stewart. That's me. I'm probably still just still sorry.
He's still bitter about missing a target standing still last week, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe we'll get to see him again soon. Maybe you'll be able to shoot him one day. Goals. # goals. And we have returning with us again a hollow tale, but unfortunately not as good Dr. Sebastian Wintercroft, our resident psychiatrist, as he's kind of dead on the floor right now. So why don't you tell us how you're doing and who you'll be playing this week?
So, I'm doing good. Sebastian's dead, still heartbroken. I don't think that's ever going to end. I'll be mourning that in 10 years from now still. If only Hayden had hit it in the leg. But no, our ace pilot couldn't quite get there, but I'm sure we'll get everything else. I'm playing Ash Reed today. It's going to be a new character. There's some surprises with them, but the basics are they are an occultist from somewhere else, something different. And I'm sure you'll find out more about them in today. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very exciting. We get to introduce a new character. So that'll be fun. So before I go into a recap of what happened with last week's episodes, I'm going to go tell you about our sponsors for today. So we have Fantasy Crowns. You see this dice roller here. It's our virtual tabletop of choice for encounter roleplay. It's what you see on all the streams. We'll be using to roll our fancy schmancy dice today. We also have Wayland Games, waylandgames.co.uk for your in-person games. They have sweet tabletop minis, terrain, all sorts of other super cool stuff. Look, check them out. There's a bunch of stuff. And of course, Tabletop Loot. For every 20 retweets we get, we will give away a set of tabletop loot dice. I can type and speak at the same time. Link's right there in chat. So, get some retweets, get some dice. They're awesome dice. I love them. I have like 4 sets of tabletop loot dice, and I could be getting more. I don't have a dice problem, you do. So yeah, we're gonna start off with a recap of what happened last week. Last week, our characters mourned the death of Lois a little bit, and then a bunch of time fuckery is what I'm just gonna call it. Hayden got a little interrogative with, what was it? Dr. Professor, Librarian, MD at Law, Percival Lake, Esquire, aka Lena's boyfriend, and was like, how can we believe you, blah, 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 all that stuff. And so he's like, look, I've seen the future. Let me show you what happens if this tower falls. We cannot let the tower fall. Let's hook her skull up to this wall thing. They were like, that sounds a bit morbid. This is our friend. He's like, she's parts now. So they went into the other room. They went and they put their hands on a crystal. Both Dr. Sebastian did and Dr. Johanna Meyer. And they saw glimpses of the future. They saw what would happen if the tower fell. It was not good. The future is really sucky if the tower falls, because Noldor God escapes, the world basically starts to boil over and melt from the inside out. It's not great for humanity. So Sebastian saw that, relayed the information, then a time slip kind of happened, and also Hunter died, but a time slip happened and he came back. Happens. Shoggoths. It's a thing. But time slip happened and they saw what Dr. Johann was seeing, which was a future in which Nazis used the tower to power the war for World War II, because it's 1933 right now, and it was really messy, and no one liked that. Hayden tried shooting a mist and shot Acacia Lexington. It was a ricochet, to be fair. He escaped, bamfed through a reflective surface. I saw he was in a campsite somewhere, and then a weird, strange electric eel swithered out and started kind of fighting them. And the eel was the end of Dr. Sebastian Undercraft, as they killed it, but in the process, it emitted one final burst as the electricity was no longer contained. Hayden had also touched the crystal and found out that there was a way to repair the crystal matrices rather than using the living wall of flesh, but that it wouldn't be a bad idea to repair the living wall of flesh to give them extra time, make it easier. So, we're going to pick up pretty much right where we left off, with the explosion of electricity and just the faint crackles left in the air. As those of you who could see the eel, see it's dissipated, it's just a few flickers left, and you all see Dr. Sebastian on the floor. He's kind of writhing still from the jolts of electricity. Hear him kind of muttering something, but it's hard to make out.
Sebastian!
At the same
He's gonna
time,
run over. He's gonna run over
That is
and
gonna-
start trying to help someone, anything.
Lena's gonna run over and attempt a first aid.
Yeah, you can give me a first aid check. With a 13, you can see his entire body is kind of covered with lightning scars. He's not gonna make it, but you're able to stabilize him enough to hear the last words that he says. And what are those words? Hello? You're muted. Then you don't hear anything at all. He's just
muted,
mouths
yeah,
something.
he's just no,
That's great.
he basically goes to speak the name of his wife, but it gets choked off, and then just says, "I saw it, like you wanted. Sorry."
She'll just kind of take his hand.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Give it a
no.
little squeeze, and then you feel it
Yeah.
go limp in your hand.
No.
It was too late.
You mean it's too late? Give him something.
There's nothing I can give him. There's nothing. He's gone.
He's gone.
Gone to his wife.
No. He kind of bangs the floor of like this room.
Is anyone else hurt? Does anyone else need any first aid after that?
As you look around, you see that Hunter is also on the ground, and he hasn't moved since that explosion.
Lena's gonna kind of reluctantly just put Sebastian's hands over his chest and then grab up. If his bag is somewhere nearby, she's gonna grab it and run to where Hunter is.
Mm-hmm.
And see if he's okay. Also, more first aiding.
Yep, give me a first aid check.
It's not you two. Come on.
Ooh, that's not a success, though.
Not a success. So you're
And not
You're looking
close
at
enough,
him.
but I could use that.
And electricity, while not, super new, there's not a ton of injuries related to it at this time, so you're kind of just like, he's breathing. He's got some burns on him.
She's gonna try to do what she can to keep him breathing and get him stable.
All right. And Baxter, you had noticed that you had a little bit of blue electricity running through your hands. And as you're looking through your hands, you could see that there's that reflective surface that both Dr. Johann had gone through and the eel had swithered through. Still like that word, swithered. You see it's still got a couple tendrils of electricity kind of going around it. And as it's kind of starting to calm down, everyone's breathing is kind of getting a bit more to normal, their pulse is going down. A figure just straight on, tumble falls through this crystal onto the floor next to you guys. And, Hollow, why don't you describe what Mr. Reed looks like?
Okay, so coming through as they sort of land, and you hear sort of a lot of curses under breath as they do. They sort of land on the ground, and they're wearing sort of very plain-looking, almost dusty clothing. Their hair is sort of a bit tangled and messed at the time. There's bits of dust in there that sort of lighten bits of it. They look to have sort of short stubble, and they have, weirdly enough, a leather jacket on that seems to contrast with everything else that they're wearing. But they have a book in their hand, which seems to be bound in a strange leather with a little face on the front, like this. And they just kind of step out and look around.
Yeah, you definitely tripped over that last little bit as you're coming through. Look around. You see that there is a dead person on the floor, and then several other a woman who appears to have been shot and highly intoxicated on the floor. Some guy with a camera. You see a lot of weapons. Another guy lying on the floor with a woman attempting first aid on him. Some guy with, I guess, I'm assuming Hayden just got his pilot's wings on all the time, whatever his outfit is.
Yeah, what's up pointing a gun at this person?
He's got a guy with some wings on, and
It's flapping.
another individual with just a bunch of weapons on him, and it seems to be staring at his hand, and it's kind of looked up and sees you.
So, what's going on here? Says he looks around, very confused. I believe I might have taken a wrong turn somewhere. I'm not armed. Not armed. With my hands right now. Going at my side, but not in my hands.
You hear like a click as I kind of pull the trigger back. Who are you?
All right, calm down. Calm down. My name is Ashley Reed, and I am, well, I'm me. I'm a part of the resistance. One's fighting the Nazis. You're not Nazis, are you? Just checking. This might get awkward if you are.
No, quite the opposite.
Oh, thank God. That's good. That's very good. That's brilliant, in fact. Great. Well, I'm fighting them, and they're very bad boys and girls. So, hello. And you are? Only you've got a dead person, and he's armed to the teeth, and I have no idea what's going on.
Yes, you've come at a bit of a bad time, actually. Unless you know first aid, I would suggest you sit aside and let me sort this out. And Hayden, do something.
Well, I know
do something with him.
Okay, maybe do something. What is it you're looking at?
I don't know. We were attacked by a electric eel thing.
Oh, did it swither? Oh, they're worse.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that even a word? Never mind. Yes.
Where I'm from, yes. Coined the phrase. And, well, our leader.
Fair enough. We can talk linguistics and semantics later. Could you please, if you've got anything you can do to help? That would be much appreciated.
He kind of opens his book and starts kind of leafing through and yes, right, okay. And then he'll sort of begin his ritual and try and heal the wound with one of his spells.
So you're gonna heal that wound, huh?
Yes. Can you use my folk healing?
Kill hunter.
All right. How much are you going to heal?
So I'm new to this whole magic thing. So
yes.
How wounded are they looking?
How wounded are you looking, Hunter?
I have 4 hit points left.
Out of
12.
12. Okay. So people with proper medical attention can regen 1 to 2 HP a day. So he's looking rough. So in order for you to cast this spell, you're gonna automatically, just for casting it, lose 1d3 magic points and 1d6 sanity points. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong spell. So it's gonna be 12 magic points, and 1 sanity point. And now you can heal up to 2d6 hit points, and if you want some of those to be permanent and not just tide them over till tomorrow, you're gonna spend power to do so. 1 power per hit point healed.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a really great band-aid could bring him potentially up to full with 2d6 HP, and he'll just wait like, why do I only have 6 HP the next day?
Yeah, I think given he doesn't quite know everybody that great just yet.
He's not gonna spend the power.
He's not going to spend his power. He's kind of just like, I'll help you. They don't know it'll be different tomorrow. So he's going to help them.
Yeah.
But not spend his power today.
Yeah, so 1 sanity and 12 MP. And then you can roll me 2d6 just how much he heals.
Sure can. I'm currently not in Fantasy Grounds just yet. So if somebody could roll it for me, that'd be awesome.
Sure. That's right. I said I could do that. Let me roll it. 7. 7 HP. Now this doesn't regenerate flesh, it melds it. So if you have any gashes or wounds, which I don't really think you do because it's all been electrical damage, you would get a lot of weird scarring, but instead you just feel a lot better.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when that explosion went off, since I was already so low, that I probably got a concussion. I managed to dodge.
You were definitely concussed.
I managed to dodge the damage from the blast, but then the force from the hitting the wall, that was the last bit of adrenaline I had. So, and that's 7 heal.
So this would be equivalent of 7 temp HP, and it's 24-hour temp HP. So.
All right, 7. So it gives me 11 until tomorrow. All right.
Yep. And you feel a lot better.
So to finalize the spell, I'll throw a bit of chili powder on my sachet. Just
okay.
some pizzazz to the spell, you know.
All right, so Lena's leaning over me there, and
Your headache goes away completely.
my eyes fly open, and there's this look of fear,
Hunter?
and I
You
grab
alright?
you real quick. What was that? I was dead. What happened?
You got better, I guess. Thanks to, Ash, was it?
Yes, you can call me Ash, he says, and sort of shoot you a smile.
This person here did some very excellent healing work.
Well, you don't have to call it excellent, but thank you.
Of course.
Hayden, Baxter, we were fighting this. We were fighting something. I look around for Hayden and Baxter.
It's gone. It's everyone else all right. Baxter, you're all right.
I'd be lying if I said yes.
Physically, how are you doing?
Physically, I'm all together.
All right.
You kind of see like Baxter's still in like, even he's kind of looking at his hands. You know, after he took the shot, he dropped his pistol and it's kind of been in a almost a frozen stance, other than just staring at his hands.
Hayden's gonna kind of come over and put a hand on your shoulder.
Where my boyfriend at?
He was fighting the eel as well, and he, I see, if I remember correctly, let me look at my sticky note here. Come back, sticky note.
I should probably make sure he's okay.
I should make real notes. So he succeeded on his power check, but he failed his dodge check. So he's kind of coming out of kind of like a stunned state, kind of like Hunter was as well. He got hit on the noggin.
All right, so I'll let Lena go. And,
You all right? Take it easy. Take your time getting to your feet.
Doc, could you help out Baxter? I think I'm gonna be all right. I feel a little better for some reason. It's weird.
Hi, well, you're welcome. I'm Ash Reed. Lovely to meet you. You all seem to be a very sunny lot. Where are we?
Would you believe Antarctica?
I believe most things, honestly. Right, Antarctica. Right. It's a bit colder than I heard.
And you know that this isn't the cold room. It's quite warm in the tower comparative to the outside. It's like a good, solid, 50 degrees in here.
Wait, you said you were fighting Nazis?
Aye, that is the case. I was fighting them. I fought in the war beforehand, and now I'm fighting them again, but in a different way, a sort of more underground, covert way, a little bit different.
War.
Oh, the big one, the second big one I've heard. I've heard there was another one before, only I wasn't alive to see it really. But second one, very bad. As a part of the British forces, we got annihilated. But this way, we can help in other ways. We're trying to find a way to stick it back to them. Maybe make sure we don't all, die, and then the rest.
I finally get to my feet. What the hell are you talking about? Doc, check this guy out. I think he's hurt worse than we are.
No, I'm hurting, but mainly inside.
And then I look around. Oh, Sebastian.
Sebastian's gone.
No, he's not.
He's gone.
You didn't make it. You got full hit with that blast from that creature.
You took the worst of it.
You always said you had 2 left feet.
I'll walk over to where the doc is lying. And I'll kneel over him and confirm what they're telling me.
He is indeed lifeless.
Lois. Now the doc.
It's been 2 hours.
2 hours.
We've already lost 2 people. Damn it. He turns around and he puts up his hand, and it's all kind of burnt and blackened from the blast, and kind of points it towards until he's about to say something. Then he just doesn't, and
I was feeling pretty bad. But now I don't feel all that. I don't feel so bad. What did you do, Lena?
It wasn't me. It was this gentleman here.
Hello.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Ash Reed. I've come here to help you, I think, but I'm a bit lost along my way. Apparently I'm in Antarctica. That's a long way from where I am, but I think there's a reason for it. But I know you're all in not a very good mood right now, so I'll take a back seat, let you all deal with your emotions, and be right here when you're ready.
We should probably get out of this room and get situated somewhere. And rest.
Warmer.
Yeah, we were making our evacuation back to the camp.
Yes.
no,
Percival?
no, we can't. We have to talk to those things. We have to get
Those things?
Lena's and Sebastian. We need their help. Wait. Do you know a Dr. Hayward?
Dr. Hayward. Can I have a thing?
Is that the German guy's name?
No, it's a Dr.
Mayer?
Johann Mayer.
That was it. Mayer. Yeah, have you heard of Johann Mayer?
Johann Mayer.
You probably would have heard of it. He is one of the high-ranking occultists, right under Herr Olvensleben himself.
Wow. Yes, I've heard of him.
He's
One of the head occultists. He's pretty much second down. He's a powerful person. Evil is all said.
Yeah, where is he, by the way? I look also for the photographer and Lexington.
Yeah, the photographer's trying to help Miss Lexington up, but she's
Having a time.
she's having a time. Just leave me here. Everyone's dying, but don't leave me here. Just on the floor for a couple more minutes. Everything's moving. The whole world's spinning. I've been shot. Oh, Lord, help us all. It's very dramatic. He's just like, oh, man, I think we're gonna move somewhere to rest for a little bit. Ma'am, I think we need to keep, ma'am. And she's just fanning him away.
Are you alright? Are you injured?
Is this to official Lexington?
He doesn't know what the personality is. He's like, oh my god.
Oh, bless you, sweet, kind,
Oh, no.
handsome soul. I am indeed injured.
But I mean, well,
I've been shot. And you can see the bandage wrapped around her leg. It's just the tragedy that is my life of late. Everything's just gone to hell in a handbasket faster than you can say. String greens.
Right, that does sound about right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a look at it and you can tell me all about it.
All right.
Yes, someone definitely do that. I was out for the last couple of hours. Catch me up. All I remember is some weird dream while I was unconscious against the wall. Some the Nazis were waging another war, even though we just defeated them. But this one was very strange.
Yeah. Lasers weaponized shoggoths. So weird.
Nice.
So-
Let's get downstairs then.
All right. So,
I will pick
Percival.
up Sebastian.
okay. Percival will say, we could definitely use one of the rooms downstairs to rest in for a bit, or there's some other chambers not too far. How far down do you want to go? There's the living quarters. I have a place there. Oh,
Don't wanna
That would be for
see
the
those
best, if you don't
things.
mind.
That sounds good. Lead the way.
So he will lead you back down the spiral where you guys had been before. And you're like, these are probably the Elder Things living quarters. And you found the room that had all of the more human contraptions in there and an actual cot and things. And he leads you to that room, pulls aside the curtain. There's plenty of space for all you guys in here. And it is much more warmer in here. Again, it's probably about 85 degrees. It's only a little chilly now. Ash, it's not freezing like it was before.
I'll put the doc on the cot there and make sure he's presentable. All right, someone start talking. What is going on? I look at Percival. You first.
Well, what is the last thing you recall? We've, your assistant, associate friend, Lena, had...
I died. Like
Yes,
5 times.
You did.
How is that possible?
Unfortunately for you, it coincided with what we've been referring to as a time slip. You apparently were fortunate, lucky enough, really, to come out on the side of the time slip before your death. So, while you experienced it, it's not in this timeline.
So Hunter did die, but it didn't stick?
The time slips can push things forward or behind by a few seconds. It's really unfortunate when you're trying to cook eggs in the morning, but other times it can be beneficial.
You all saw that?
Yes.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
So when can we do this again? When's this next time slip thing? Can we get Lois back? Can we get the doc back? I came back.
It's only for a few seconds. You can't jump minutes and hours unless it was to deteriorate to that amount. But at that rate, well, sure it could escape, and well, that would be very bad for everyone.
All right, go on. What's next?
There's a time slip of the more the barrier decays, the more often and for longer time slips happen. Right now, it's in a very weak structural state, so they've been happening about once an hour, as best as I can tell. I don't know how entirely accurate this is, and I'll pull out a pocket watch.
What I can summarize is that there are 3 main things. 1, we have to speak with these Elder Things, get them to help us, give them what they call components, and try and get them on our side to help us stop the Germans' encampment. Secondly, is actually enacting that plan and gathering as much people as we can to enact this ritual. 20 or so.
Did you say ritual?
Yeah, what do you mean
Yes.
ritual?
Well, and go on, Lena.
There's a way to shore up the tower without having to, without relying on organic components. There's a ritual that can be conducted that requires a number of people involved and a number of things, but it can potentially solve the problem for good, all told. At the
What
risk of...
problem is this? I mean, I'm very lost right now.
Of course, this tower is keeping a creature in check that could destroy the world if left unchecked. And excuse me.
No.
We've sort of taken it upon ourselves to try and keep that from happening since we're here and all. At very great cost, it seems.
Very noble cause, and you say there's something under this tower, and we're in the Antarctic.
Yes, it's
What was the last thing you remember in the news? Like, what big event? I mean, I have my concerns right now with what was said earlier, and I'm trying to think about this.
Well, perhaps this is an easier way to solve it. What was the date when we set out?
The date was, I want to say it was September 11th. Hold on,
September
I have the exact
something,
notes.
1933, right?
It was early September when you guys left New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This expedition left New York in early September 1933.
And how many years?
You're chilling out in 1944.
Cool.
Oh, dear, he says, and he'll find somewhere to sit and just sort of sit and hold his book in his lap and just be like, oh dear. Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to say something. I kind of always wanted to say this. I'm from the future.
I wish I could say I was surprised.
Yeah, Hunter goes to say something and... No. I believe you.
Now that I've said that, allow me to panic. Oh, Lord.
It was my third thing. I was going to ask you about what you were talking about, because this war you spoke of?
Aye, the Second Great World War.
We saw war machines sprawling of Nazi armies in that room. That doctor we spoke to you about was his vision.
Wait, what? That wasn't a dream?
Wait a minute. Wait. Percival, you, when you were talking about the time slip, you said something about Hunter's death not happening in this timeline?
Yes, well, time is strange, especially here, especially lately. It's, I don't know for sure, it's difficult to test theories and things, especially all by yourself, but it's possible that during each slip, there's a split from the main timeline, the timeline we're in, into an offshoot. I don't know for sure, but I have theories.
I see.
I don't think they last terribly long, as you know. This is our time stream. If it wasn't the main time stream, we wouldn't come back to it. You know, we wouldn't see it.
Yes.
Like a ripple in a pond.
Right.
Yes.
Like,
Kind of.
God, this is like one of the plots from one of those terrible movies my sister's in. All right.
Your sister's in movies?
Yes, she's a She's in Hollywood. Probably having the time of her life right now while we're here.
Focus on the problem. Let's focus
Yes.
right here now.
Yes, well.
Baxter,
So-
you've been quiet. Are you all right?
Yeah, I just noticed Baxter also. I'll take it.
Perhaps we should just take it easy for a little while and let this all settle. It occurs to me, Ash, we've been terribly rude. I don't think we've introduced ourselves to you.
No, not really. It's fine though. I
Sorry.
kind of understand the situation you were in. It seemed pretty dire. I came in at the wrong time for a more warm welcome, it seems.
Well, you don't exactly expect to meet new faces in Antarctica, either.
Nor in the
I'm
past.
Lena. I'm Lena Stoddard. I'm an archaeologist. This is Hayden Stewart, our pilot, and Mr. Hunter Merrill, he's our survival expert, and Mr. Baxter Wiggins, our artist. This is Professor Percival Lake, my instructor.
Hello.
Hello.
And Keisha Lexington says, "You've already met me. I'm Keisha Lexington, millionaire heiress."
Indeed. He's saying it's not a bit.
And
Very
then
impressive.
Photographer
the man with the
whose
camera,
name
he's
I
like,
forget.
Priestley, everyone forgets about me, but it's all right. I'm here.
I'm so
Right,
sorry,
Priestley, I'll
Mr.
never
Presley.
forget about you.
It's okay. It's probably better that way. If everyone else forgets I'm here, maybe the monsters will too.
No, it's fine. You will be the center of my attention, Priestley.
Oh, I'd rather not.
So Hunter's been ignoring this conversation. I've walked over to Baxter. On your feet, soldier. I'll probably help him up if he wants to stand up.
Maxer moves along, gets on his feet.
Now, what do I physically see? Is he got like glowy hands again, or what?
It's your hands look fine, but if you kind of spread your fingers a little bit, you see a little bit of almost like what's the thing I'm thinking of? Like you get the two the V, and then you get the electricity to kind of zzz up between it. Kind of looks like that. Hands.
So do I feel anything when I grab him, kind of help him up?
No.
So what happened? What do you remember?
Weird electrical creature tried to surround me. Dodged out of the way. Everyone started attacking. It's my instinct to fight with them. Hold up my pistol. Didn't want to. Hunter, I gotta explain myself or I'm just gonna burst. I said I fought in the war. There's a reason why I was sent home. We were on a mission. Men were captured. It was our opportunity to strike. It was an ambush. I fled. Leg broken. Couldn't run. I was going to become a prisoner of war. It was dark. Only a pistol in hand. Heard footsteps coming. I fired in the moment I saw a shadow. If I killed a fellow comrade, I was deemed unwell to continue fighting. So when I took that shot, something screamed, "Don't." But instinct took over and I took the shot. I think I killed Sebastian.
I'll hold him a little tighter and pull him just a little bit closer to to face me. No, you didn't kill it. That was an excellent shot. That was a damn good shot. With everything that was going on, with both of us moving around with whatever the hell that thing is or was, that was a great shot. No, whatever. I don't know. I'm still catching up here, but I guarantee you it wasn't you that killed the doctor.
It'll take time to accept this, Hunter, but thank you.
Oh, believe me, it's going to take a long time.
This is wiping away tears.
Right, so I'll embrace him one more time there, just quick and all right. You're well here. We're going to need you.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me.
No, thanks for saving me.
Try to put my shoulder to the wheel and carry on.
Well, my shoulder be right next to yours. Let's get out of here.
Amen.
I think
everyone else.
I'm kind of hearing that. I think Hayden just kind of walks out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like angrily.
Acacia Lexington is just passed out, snoring on that cot that was placed on us. She's currently the most injured one.
Lucky her.
Enough booze will knock you right out. Booze and a gunshot wound. So that is, it's pretty quiet. Everyone's in a fairly solemn mood. Bit of an odd moment for you to pop into, Ash, as you had just been, before you had seen this portal and saw Swithering Yale go through it, go, let's try something. You were running around in some of the sewer tunnels and, with the resistance, just trying to get from point A to point B, and then you saw opportunity, and you took it, and you guys were kind of in let's get this job done, we've got this, we've got the intel, we got the thing, and then this mood happens, and it's kind of just a little, it's so cold here. It's so cold. It's only currently 85 Fahrenheit up where you're at. It's just a little chilly.
Yeah, this isn't the triumph of victory I was in for.
No, was it?
Yeah, he'll be considering it and sort of having a think and letting them do their mourning and dealing with their own injured. But he will eventually go over to...
That 1933 was before the war.
Yeah.
Before the Nazis got their super weapon.
Do I know anything about what happened around then?
Can you give me a history or an occult roll to see how much you can remember right now? Okay.
Okay, 41 is, let me find it. That's a success.
Excellent. So, through the intel that you've received since joining the Resistance, the general populace pretty much has no idea where any of this come from, but the Resistance has gotten intel, information, interrogation. They've done a lot. They've been busy. And you know that they harnessed some type of eldritch power, and that they're using ley lines to connect it to certain waypoints. Wherever there's a ley line, endpoint or midpoint, they'll find their main bases of operation. They all seem to head and get more populated the further south you go in the world. Now, you stuck mainly to Europe, so you didn't know how far, but rumors were that it started in Antarctica. No one's really able to verify it, as it's not an easy trip to get there, and no Resistance member has made it back from a voyage there, but suspicions are pretty good because you have heard back from a couple of contacts in Australia.
Okay, he'll have a think, and he'll sit down as he's considering and be like, so that's where we're at. I think I need more information on what's going on here. I think that we may be at a place to help each other greatly. From what I
How do
remember,
you figure?
well, there's the Nazis, right? They've been harnessing this energy, and all their bases are on the ley lines where these almost webs of power meet. And the thing is, I heard that it was around, well, before the war, of course, that this all came to be. And I've heard that the location of its source may be Antarctica, but none of our lot have ever made it back whenever they've gone. And it's always more, the more south you get. I think that maybe this is the source of that. Why else would I be here or be brought here out of my own time?
You raise a good point.
We need to stop whatever it is that went wrong here. They can't harness it. So many died. Horribly died. Entire armies devastated by war machines that they made.
Well, the good news is that it was always in our plan to put a stop to that.
Good.
In addition to boiling the oceans in the end times and whatever else might come to pass. Lena looks really tired and sort of trying to function just purely on almost auto response.
You guys don't know how long exactly you've been here. It could have been a few hours. It could have been much longer than that. It's kind of hard to tell because the time slips have been happening approximately every hour. But you guys are exhausted. It's taken a lot out of you today. And
she's been busying herself with going through her notes and things.
And Percival's given you his notes too. So if you want to study those, you can learn even more. Okay.
Blues.
Okay.
So, Hunters, I've lit my pipe and I've been listening to this story catching up. So when he revived me, did that my general tiredness, or am I still running on?
You're still tired. You're just don't feel as physically and mentally in pain. You feel a lot less electrocuted.
Okay.
That physical exhaustion's still there, especially because they're temp HP, essentially. So you're still exhausted. You're just not as in much pain.
Well, yes, you're right about one thing, Mr. Reed. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not as long as I'm breathing. I helped stop them once. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Good. Only in my timeline, it seems that you did stop breathing. At least I'd assume as much if it didn't get stopped. So I'd say that me being here at least changes something, and I'm sure that all of you have your plans. What's your plan? I really need to know what your plan is. I need to help you. I can put my mind to it. If there's anything weird, I'm good with weird.
Well,
so at the mention of time, Hunter gets this strange look on his face because still remembering that I died 5 times and that I really shouldn't be here. So I'm going to glance up here above my head real quick. Do I see my friend floating?
Oh yeah, he's been with you this whole time, and actually, Ash, you can see it too. Because you're an occultist.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Would I find that weird?
I mean, no, there's all sorts of these little creatures that kind of all the way around. You cannot. You're not trained in seeing the occult and looking at the occult yet. Getting there.
But I mean,
not there
sanity-wise, am I like crazy enough to see it?
Everyone can see goop except for Ash. Ash is the only one who may or may not be, but there's a sanity threshold to see goop.
That's when you know you're really crazy.
That's when you know you're real crazy. But you can see Hunter's little friend. In fact, the leader of your faction, the Resistance, has a similar type. Because not all the Eldritch beings serve the Nazis. There's certain ones that serve different factions and entities that aren't very happy with what was going on, and so he's got a little kind of teal friend that kind of floats around him.
Huh.
But this one looks like a little red octopus balloon, and it just big ol' eyes just follows him around, just floats.
He sort of looks at it, and sort of his eyes follow it, and then he kind of goes, "I didn't know you were gifted in such arts. Impressive. Where's your friend? Your floaty friend.
You see that thing?
Oh yeah, how you doing?" He says to the thing.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. How are
Oh,
you?
that's good.
I mean, I've
I'm
had better
doing-
days, but, you know.
Oh, well, same.
He's alive, so I'm still here.
Yeah. Oh, so you're bound to him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
Yep.
we'll keep him right as rain for you.
Well, that'd be good. Appreciate
Aye.
it.
I'm sure. And yes, I can see him, Hunter. Yeah, it's quite normal. You find him floating around places sometimes.
I'll give a long look at Luna.
You guys just
I-
talking to
I-
nothing.
I don't seem to be in on the conversation.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
fine.
So the way it works is essentially there's people who have things that follow them, you see. They're sort of like, they're invisible to most people unless you know how to see them. You have to train to see them, of course. That's why my eyes are good at seeing them, because I trained for a while. Mum, she made sure I definitely could see them. But there's a creature that watches over him from a sort of invisible place. I know it sounds crazy,
Alright.
but I can assure you as a time traveler that it's not.
No.
At this point,
that
nothing's
sounds
crazy.
Mm,
I'm willing to
no,
believe. Damn near
Still
anything.
crazy. Even if it isn't.
All
Anyway,
right.
it's
At
friendly.
this point.
So
That's good.
we're gonna cut over to Hayden, who has stepped outside of the room. You're in the hallway, in the Elder Things quarters. There's a bunch of other rooms. You've already looked into them, saw a baby Shoggoth in a jar, put it back on the ice. A bunch of other things. You've already explored this area. You know that the nursery is down there, and you probably don't want to go down there anytime soon. But yeah, where are you off to? I know you first aided yourself, or do you just kind of hang out
Yeah.
in the hallway?
Yeah, I think Hayden's just hanging out in the hallway, listening to the conversation, and he kind of just goes into his.
He wants to drop Eves, but not be involved.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling some guilty vibes, and I think he's just bandaging his hand and kind of ties it a bit too tight. And we see him wince, listening to what's going on, and he keeps looking at the nursery. Looking
Yeah,
back.
kind of like stick your head pass through the double curtains, kind of look down at the very end of the hall. You see the curtain of the nursery it's actually been put back up. It doesn't appear to be repaired because you see it still sway, a little bit kind of moving in the slight air currents that flow through here. But it hasn't been picked up off the floor. It has not been repaired yet.
Yeah, he's just doing that periodically, listening, looking,
Checking.
trying. He's filling with his gun. Probably drops a few bullets. And puts them back in.
Ting, ting. They seem to echo very loudly, just because it's so quiet down here.
Yeah, it's kind of what he's doing.
Okay, give me a spot hidden or listen check, just to see.
Listen.
So
Yeah.
if you see anything, hear anything.
Oh, that's the. We check the
Hard success,
listen.
I think, for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a hard success. Yeah.
Nice. So with a hard success, you're able to you hear the slight, it's pretty quiet in here, but if you really stand there and listen, having heard it before, you can just make out, a few occasional faint cries from the nursery, as the children are probably very upset after what had happened earlier today, and it's probably taken them a while to calm down. By children, I mean swarms of baby elder things, for those of you who don't know. You can kind of hear, the occasionally, but it's faint, it's quiet, nothing's coming up. They calm down after a few moments. You assume that's probably the caretakers that's still alive down there. But that's all you hear is the occasional little screeches of baby elder things.
Where's the?
It's only when you're in the hallway.
Where's the The case with Lois's stuff on it.
Now you say case with Lois. You mean the bowl with her head and nervous system?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Percival's been carrying that. It's currently in the room, just kind of sat down, like at a table.
So whether I can like try and like sneak it out.
You can most certainly try. Can you give me a stealth check? I won't make it sleight of hand, but I will need a stealth check. Just to see.
Yeah. Stealth. Goopy goop. Let's see here.
Yeah. 27?
Oh man. Do I want to use luck for this? What's my luck?
I don't know, do you?
Yeah, I do.
So many questions right now.
I'm gonna use 7. I'm gonna use 7 luck to
Okay.
make a success out of 20.
So Hayden, like, nonchalantly strolls in, just hangs out while you guys talk for a minute. Just nonchalantly walks out, because the ball's like this big. So it's not, I mean, it's got a whole spine and a skull and a face and everything, so it's not a small ball, but he's somehow nonchalantly just...
It won't focus on the future, man.
If everyone is paying attention to what Hayden's doing, they can give me a spot hidden, but no one, like, who's not paying attention notices. So, Lexington, Priestley, Percival, they're not paying attention.
Like, facing that general direction?
Like,
and conscious?
looking at what Hayden's doing. Like, oh, like Hayden's walked in, you kind of pay attention, you know him walking in, so.
Well, after they told Hunter what that whole thing was about, after I would have been.
Sir, you are not.
You're supposed to be studying.
Yeah.
Miss Eagle Eyes over
Wasn't
here with her,
studying
like,
that hard.
extreme, because she's got good spot hidden.
She's got like a 75 for her spot hidden.
Yeah. You see Hayden real smoothly walk in, nonchalant, kind of like take off his coat, set it on the bowl, pick up his coat, and just kind of walk, chill.
Yeah,
No
I
one
think
else
what
seems
this
to
looks
really
like is she like glances up, just like noticing him entering the room and over there, and then like kind of does a double take.
It's real smooth. You're actually, it's fairly impressive. No one else seems to have noticed at all. Like, that's how nonchalant and casual he is about it.
Hayden, what are you doing with that?
What?
It's my coat.
The bow. Under your coat.
Oh, this bowl.
Oh, I sure no.
What?
I miss, obviously.
Hit Lexington.
Hit Lexington again.
Hit Lexington.
I mean,
have a leg.
The other
I've been
is,
shot. I've been shot. I'm not crippled for life. I've been shot in both legs. No, she's passed out. She's snoring.
I just say, I'm going to speak with those things.
right now?
Time's of the essence, and I won't put anyone else in danger necessarily.
How are you going to speak with them?
Show
You don't
them.
need to go alone. I'll go with you.
No.
I just need a few minutes to sort out a message.
No.
Can I hear this?
Uh-huh.
Is this kind of go?
yeah, we all hear it.
Who are they?
The elder things that are guarding this place.
You don't know what another thing is. Nazis murdered them all.
Are there in Percival's notes, are there some of his drawings in here? I think I've got some of that
infinite
stuff.
and
Yeah.
detailed
So,
anatomy.
He's just
beautiful
gonna
sketches.
These.
That's some cool art, but never seen
Sweet
them.
tattoo.
Oh,
Sweet
they live
tattoo.
here.
That's a
Yeah.
sick tattoo.
Well, they live here. As a matter of
Oh.
fact, there's an entire nursery not far from here.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Are they friendly?
Tread.
If you leave him alone, yes.
And
We didn't get off on exactly the right foot or tentacle or what have you, but
take
We're-
your pick. There's plenty of them, it seems.
we're going to try to fix that
Right, well,
best we can.
maybe a fresh face could help. I'll follow this guy, he says, and starts
You
following
say-
Hayden.
You say fresh face, and Percival looks at Sebastian's corpse like, oh, if we had two. With like a look of like, fresh face?
First of all,
It wouldn't hurt. It's double
my God,
efforts. He's dead.
you've been here far too long.
I've been here for 3 years. It's been a long time.
Hayden's still walking at the fucking...
Yeah, I'm still like trotting on after Hayden. It's like, wait.
Oh, no. You're not leaving.
Let go, Lena.
No. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this smartly so we don't throw our lives away anymore.
It's fine. It's fine. I can do this. Just let me do this. No one else needs to die.
Why? Why alone? What do you think you're going to accomplish by yourself?
What do you think you're gonna accomplish by yourself, bro?
Yeah.
Wow, you're both warning me. I see what it is.
I just know you.
That's true.
Cousin.
Cousin. Don't forget, cousin. That's true. My identical twin would know me. Twin cousin. Yeah. Just let go, Lena, alright? I have to do this. I have to do this by myself. No one else needs to get hurt, alright? I can't lose anybody else.
You
It's my
realize
fault.
it is not your fault.
It's my fault. If I had shot the Professor and I had the chance, and he wouldn't have said that thing.
It's not your fault. Now, going off and trying to be a hero and fixing this all by yourself sounds grand, and I'm sure it would look very nice in your autobiography, which I hope to read someday when we're all away from here. But we have to stick together now. All right?
As you're like
More than
holding Bucket, you see he's like his hands are shaking, and one of them's bandaged.
Yeah. She's gripping firmly, but her hands are shaking a little bit as well, though she's trying not to. It's my best
Please.
friend in there, you realize. No, she wasn't necessarily in her right mind, but she did give her life so that we would have time. And I intend to use it. And I don't intend to let anybody's foolish ideas about being a hero or solving something that they think they did wrong stop us. So if we go together.
I just don't want to lose anyone else.
We won't.
Kind of looks at you when you say that. Kind of looks at you deeply.
She's
Fine.
crying openly, but there is a decidedly determined hard edge in her gaze.
Just a soft look in his. It's like, fine.
Now, let's collect ourselves and do this right. Let me compose a message. First of all, can you help me?
I was muted. Of course.
He was a silent witness again.
He went silent witness. Just. Oh, yes.
Ash was just standing there very awkwardly throughout this exchange.
Uh-huh.
Like, go team. No, he's stood there just kind of like listening and sort of reflecting on his own decisions. And we'll kind of look at you, Lena, for a moment and go, that was a good speech, and I agree with you. I'll stand by you and the rest of you. It's that's what my leader would have done.
Sorry you had to see that, and are you by any chance familiar with Elder Cypher or any sort of other occult things that would be of use?
Very versed with many occult things. I know a lot, so I can have a look. Maybe if there's things I don't understand, you can point me in the right direction. I can spend time on it. I'll do it.
Yes, I think
to help you, all of you. It's what Mr. Slazowski would have wanted.
Excuse me.
What?
You know what? Never mind. Let's put our heads together and sort this out.
Aye, let's. Also, one
double time on that.
Sort of, kind of tries to catch you quickly because and sort of leans in and just kind of goes, the one who's been here for a while. I don't know what he is to you, and I'm more concerned with what he said. What did he mean?
Well, if you're referring to what he meant about the body.
Yes.
That is the organic material we would normally be using to repair this place. That is why the ritual is important. We don't have to.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that guy wants to feed this tower bodies, but there's a way to not feed it bodies. Am I right in my thoughts?
Yes. That is about some of it.
Do you have notes? Do you have diagrams? Anything to do with this way?
It was Sebastian and Hayden, I think, that got the information about the ritual.
Hayden has more notes on the ritual, thankfully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the ritual you'll want to talk to Mr. Stewart.
She'll kind of nod to Hayden.
Right, okay. Well, very well, I'll do that. I'll look into what I can for you. And for what it's worth, hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be no more losses.
That is the hope.
If we stop this from happening, we will stop thousands of losses. He says, and he turns and begins to walk to Hayden.
Okie dokie. Did I tell you to put any points in Cthulhu Mythos?
You did not know, I meant to ask.
Alright, put 5 points in Cthulhu Mythos. I forgot to tell you before the session, because we were all a bumble jumble earlier today. So, that's going to help you with, between that and occult.
Sounds
That's
good.
the skill, occult. Those will help you understand ritual stuff. Alright. Baxter, are you resting? I know a lot of you guys are just kind of taking it easy at this point. What are Baxter and Hunter up to during this discourse and exchange?
I imagine Baxter just taking some very much, not really resting, but at least anything meditating, because he is going through borderline PTSD at this moment.
Mental rest, giving yourself some time to just sit down and Okay, just kind of sitting down, quietly meditating in the corner. What about Mr. Hunter Moran?
I'm doing the same thing because I've been through what Baxter's going through now, and I'm still trying to fit in the pieces of what everyone's saying with the time that I had lost when I was unconscious, and grappling with wanting to look in the bowl versus not doing. So I'm kind of leaning up against the wall with my pipe.
Yeah, it's just like a leather lid, just over it, like a flap.
Watching and listening and then glancing over at the dock and trying to process all the thoughts and fill in some missing pieces and figure out who the hell this Reed guy is and what role does
He
he
seems
play.
enthusiastic and upbeat, which is, new for your group for a while. That's what happens when you still have, most of your sanity. So, just kind of watching. Lena, what message are you trying to construct with Percival? Some of the vocal tones are not within our range of hearing, so I find it's easier to communicate through writing. And you kind of just,
Of course.
slate some paper out.
Yeah, and I think the thing they're trying to cobble together is sort of I think she's gonna eschew the sorry we shot at your babies and just not talk about that.
Just not talk about that.
Yeah.
Sorry we murdered one of the caretakers for the babies.
Yeah, sorry we killed one of your nurses, but
The babies.
yeah, and threw a flare at your babies. We're just not gonna deal with that at all unless it comes up. But I think there will be.
You have that flashcard, that apology flashcard ready.
Yeah, we are so sorry.
Yeah,
I think the
Percival
general
writes in English on the back of all of them, so that way he's like, "That's way you remember which ones are which." And he'll kind of pull out his index card notes that are very thick at this point. He just flips through. He's got them indexed.
I think the general message would be something along the lines of, "We understand your mission here, or what you're trying to do. Please let us help you. We also need your assistance with XYZ to stop these other bad people."
like Trick Tower's falling apart, and Nazis want to use its energy to take over the world to kill all of you guys that are left. Join forces.
Some sort of they are both our enemy. Let us join against this common enemy and solve your problem while we're at it. Yes.
We want to help you. Because you don't want to seem like we need you. Yeah, and please help us poor beings who are weak and incompetent. And he's like, if we put some slight groveling in there, little groveling will go a long way.
Yes, all things considered, we should be exceedingly respectful to them, considering what we.
Yes.
So yeah,
all right.
That's the gist of the message.
Yeah, so it takes him a while to compose it because it's there's a lot to put in there, and it is even though he's been using it for 3 years, it's still a very complicated cipher system, not like Bonnie Cook cipher system. It's a system of ciphers. Dots. Dots. This is called Cthulhu.
Really roundabout there.
So you're doing that. Hayden, Ash approaches you.
Question.
Answer.
Yes, cousin. Since I crit my kind of mind thing last time, I got this occult information. Did I get any points in that? I don't remember.
You would get roll me a d4. That's how many points you can get in Cthulhu Mythos.
You rolled a d4?
I mean, I can roll it if you want.
Yeah, you can roll that for me. So,
okay, sure. You get 3 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay.
Because it's not so much as you've studied the occult and have occult knowledge. This is kind of just brain implanted, so that you just have some eldritch knowledge tucked away in there a little bit. who knows what else is in there? That's just what you remember.
Yeah.
So
Fits of insight.
So yeah, you'll have some Cthulhu mythos, and you are able to write down the symbol and start writing down some of the things necessary.
Yeah.
But there was a lot to go through, and you didn't understand some of the things. You're like, what does Fatagan mean? Like, what is a Fatagan? Is it like a toboggan? Did they misspell toboggan? Like,
Cthulhu toboggan.
Cthulhu toboggan. Oh, now I just picture a cute little Cthulhu sledding down.
That sounds fun.
Anyway, sounds adorable. Just a bunch of little baby elder things with like mittens on each, like
Oh my
the
god.
type tentacles sliding down a toboggan.
Too much.
Someone's fan art there.
Someone's fan art
Kill.
right there.
BRB.
BRB. Get out of here. Yeah, I see Ash
Definitely
coming.
not
I see Ash coming. I just kind of like glance your way and kind of like glance back down. You see me, I'm smoking a cigarette.
That's cool. He'll kind of he'll walk over and just give you a nod. Got any spares of those? It's been a while since I've seen cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll take one and
One.
kind of give you a nice nod.
I like take out my matches and I like flare up and I like it.
Thank you. So, didn't really get to properly introduce myself before to you, but I'm Ash Reed.
Hayden Stewart.
It's a pleasure to meet you. He says, sort of holds out a hand to shake yours.
He does. He shakes it and he just says, "So, when does it all kick off?"
It's a long story, but without going into too many specifics, not long after this, everything started to go downhill. And it was rough. The war was unspeakable. The things that those Germans did to us was a part of the British Army. We were in the trenches, but we didn't expect quite what we got. I don't think any trenches can prepare you for the sort of things they were using. So many people died.
I saw it.
You did.
Vision, I guess.
Then you know what we're competing with. You know what happens if we fail at this.
Yeah.
So-
And he kind of like rubs his eyes. What did you want, Reed?
A solution. A truce. A way to work together. I might not be as versed in many of the things that I no doubt you are. But what I do know,
just fly planes. I do.
and that is a bloody good skill. Like, if you put me in a plane, I wouldn't even make it go. I'd probably just look at it funny, or it'd blow up or something. So you're bloody good at that, and good job. I'm good at the weird shit. And that's what I'm here to help you with. I've heard you've got some notes on a ritual.
Yeah, like put a cigarette in his mouth and we'll go through his coat. Yeah.
Great. Well, you tell me what you saw, if that's all right, and I'll try and get the old brain box working.
Right, well, it starts with these kinds of lines and I'll describe what I saw.
Yeah, I imagine that Hayden doesn't typically have like a regular notebook on him, so you probably drew it in the back of your pilot's logbook, because you'd have that with you.
Well, I grabbed some papers from Baxter.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Baxter,
You did.
paper.
Paper. So yeah, I see you have nice big pictures of it. Nice big pictures. This is a very intricate magic circle. This is going to be done very precisely. So you're going to need tools to measure, the right materials to write it with. Looks like it can be done with salt or blood, depending on your, preference, what's at hand. you're also going to need, link the psychic energies. There's a lot of prep that's going to have to go into this.
Yeah.
You're going to need to get the materials for it. Some
Okay.
of them you're kind of like, oh, Antarctica. Yeah, how are we going to get tallow in Antarctica? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's probably going to check
figure
through, like, some of the bits he's got on him. Like, some of the general little bits for his rituals he's got. Like,
Yeah.
his...
Give me an occult check.
I certainly can do that.
To see how well you absorb.
P9, that's
ritual.
an extreme success.
It just absorbs right in your brain. You've pretty much got this. Also, give me a Cthulhu Mythos check. Just curious.
Certainly.
Curiosity. Just roll it.
Unfortunately, I
No,
failed.
you have no idea. All right, so with a 9, you're looking at these, and with your experience with rituals, having cast quite a few of them yourself, and assisted your leader, your section leader, because he's done a lot of rituals as well. What Hayden's talking about are the minimums to get this to work. With your experience, something usually goes wrong, so you probably want to have a bit more than the minimums, extra supplies on hand, extra components, but it's definitely doable. It's going to take you a couple days to prep, but
Okay,
you're going to need
alright.
very precise measurements of things.
Yeah, he'll flick for his book and sort of look over at you and go, right, I think, Hayden, I think I can make this work. It'll take some prep of a few days at least, but we could do this.
That's good.
We could do this. We need a few people on board, we need some preparations, we need a few materials, but we could make it work if we had time. Do we have time?
Given we get those components to those creatures, they fix whatever they have to, get them to help us.
Alright.
There's also
Okay.
the professor I told you about.
Yes,
The German one.
German, right. And he's
He's
around
been
here.
traveling- No, he was. He did something with his hands and stopped or slowed bullets when I was trying to fire at him. And he jumped through the glass, the crystal that you came through. I tried to follow him and I was at a base camp. Yeah.
Now,
Right.
you know that it's a spell that lets you travel through reflective surfaces. You've seen them use it before.
Yeah.
A couple of your guys know how to use it, but the cost is pretty high, so not many of your soldiers and forces know how to use it.
Yeah, that's fair. I know of the spell you speak of. You can travel through reflective surfaces and get through the other side. That's a powerful spell, though. Big cost. It's interesting. They'd be using that already.
Yes. I was hoping that we could go there with these creatures, and you see here where it says we need people and for components as well. We could
Yes,
take
we do.
those Germans and use them.
Right, well, I'll need an abundance of salt or an abundance of blood. So, it's not pretty work, but saving the world never is, I guess.
I'm willing to do whatever's necessary at this point.
As am I. They've taken much from me, the Germans, most of my life. If I can make this work and I can give other people their lives back from here, then I'd say that's worth it. And we did the whole way. So how do we get those tentacle people on side?
I don't know, that depends if...
We have a chat?
Don't know what they speak, but if Lena and the professor, boyfriend, whatever they
Doctor.
deal with...
Boyfriend at law.
He's professional at boyfriending.
I've
You're
got
real
my
good
masters.
at it.
You only failed for those 3 years. If they can figure out a way to communicate, and perhaps... Tell me, have you heard of me?
Can I have a think back and actually see if I have heard of Hayden?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see That's a fail. I'm guessing. I'm trying to see if my agent had spread the stuff that had been given to her.
Uh-huh.
So he
Or if the
kinda-
Nazis intercepted it once they heard about Antarctica. So,
Yeah.
because, you've not heard of Hayden Stewart. No, really. It's been 11 years, so.
Okay, so
You
he'll
may
think-
you might have heard that back before the war. Maybe like over a decade ago, there was some hotshot pilot guy, but that's about it.
All right,
You're
so I
an
think
idiot.
he's gonna take a shot in the dark on this, and he's gonna consider it. And he kind of looks at him and sees that he's a bit down in his luck, and that he's, obviously not in the best place. And so he's gonna tell a little bit of a fib, and I think he's gonna basically, hey, Stewart, you're some sort of hotshot pilot. Flew through many different bad conditions, went to the Antarctic and managed to get a crew all the way there and almost escaped from what I heard. You're flying through storm after storm. But unfortunately, your plane failed you. That's at least what I heard. There are many stories spoken of. Movies. Before, of course, the Germans took them all over and destroyed them.
No,
So I haven't seen
fucking lied.
Give me a psychology check.
This line has been fucking. Oh, the famous people talk about you in those movies. God.
Give me a psychology check.
They say Hayden pays a crack shot. He did a German's leg from a mile away.
I can hit a germ. All right.
Hate you so much.
Give me a fast talk, Hollow. Just to see if you, because if you roll 100, he's gonna know. But yeah, no. I've made movies about you, dude.
Hate you so much.
I'll let you know that's a failure for me, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it's not a crit failure compared to a 98. So
Sweet.
he can't read you. You're more convincing that he is a sense of the truth here.
That's something, when we came out here, I was telling my agent everything that was going on, just in case when things got weird. There'd be some evidence, I guess. But I'm glad it helped at least, maybe. Or there's something right.
And you're a hero to many people in the trenches. Something to keep the light going.
My book, How to Fly in the Face of Danger, probably went worldwide. Yeah.
Trying to keep myself here.
Did a better job than I.
I don't remember the title exactly, but a book about you did go global. Maybe they changed the title and they had to hide the fact that it was,
True.
a
Use
great
it as
British
a
hero.
resource.
Aye. Well, anyway, knowing that it's you who's got our backs, I'm very confident in our success. Now we just need to convince those people with all of their feet to come and help us.
Thank you. You've made me feel better. And hey, have this.
Oh?
It's my headshot.
Pulled out a headshot. It's an autographed headshot. Hayden Stewart.
He takes it. He'll look at it for a long time, and he'll kind of nod and slide it in. He'll fold it and slide it in his breast pocket and just be like, I'll cherish it always.
God save the Queen. Nah, turn away. That's fucking scene.
Fine.
Uh-huh.
I'll say.
You're just you take notes. Here's so Lena, you and Percy have made a bunch of notes with your gist and if they say this, we should, and a bunch of contingencies as to how the conversation
Sure.
goes. So you don't forgo one moment.
There's
a moment of
branching flashcards.
Mhm. It's like a choose your own adventure
If
book.
they say
If yes, please turn to page 34.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. There's probably some rehearsing going on a little bit to make sure that we pull the right one at the right time.
Mm-hmm. This is why you write the English at the back. Yes.
I don't know how you did this for years.
Yes, I made a mistake once about write English on the back. Penguin is weird. Don't. We're done.
Noted.
Okay. And so you guys have your flashcards. It's a decent little stack thick.
Nice.
And he's gonna roll an idea check. Okay, so his idea check, he's gonna kind of be like, our new associate, friend, occult expert. He doesn't seem exactly
Time traveler?
Time traveler. We'll go with our resident time traveler. He doesn't seem to be particularly well dressed for this weather, and he keeps saying that this is cold. Perhaps he should have the late doctor's snow gear.
Of course, that's practical. I hate to ask this. Would you mind?
Oh, no. He'll walk over and he'll be like, "Oh, Mr. Reed."
Yes, you can call me Ash. Mr. Reed's my dad.
Oh, all right. Well, Ash, Mr. Ash.
Much better. What can I do for you?
You seem to be a bit underdressed for the current climate weather.
Yeah. I'm freezing.
I'm very concerned about you once we get outside. So, here, and he'll kind of start. You should take this snow gear. It's not going to do you any good. What a corpse. I really want to say growing older, but not older. But that's a little insensitive here. So, because Antarctica. Anyways, but yes, from this Doctor. You can actually see as he kind of pulls off one of Dr. Sebastian Wintercroft's business cards, falls out, and you recognize it. This is you do. Your section leader, Jonathan Slazowski. This is one of his prized possessions. He said that this was his hero, and he got him through so many hard times, and therefore he always kept this business card with the date of his next appointment, which was early 1934 written on it. He always keeps it close to him, keeps it on him. So you see a pristine, non-burned, scorched, dirtied, bent, bedraggled copy of this business card.
Yeah, he'll pick it up and he'll look at it and then he'll pocket it.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Very well. This is grim, but we need to do what we need to do to survive, and I will freeze out here without it.
It's quite.
I'm sure whoever they were a good man.
They seem to be very, very well educated and helpful, and a doctor. So he's advocating health, mental health, especially. Psychiatrist, I believe.
Aye, I've heard as much.
Yeah, and he's just kind of being like scarf.
Yeah, he starts to take it. He does pop his jacket over the top though. He keeps his leather jacket on top. It's kind of
yeah, because it's a bit warm for the parka, the full snow gear in here, but he gives you all the other layers because it's just so cold. It's 85-degree weather.
Yeah, he takes all the other layers happily enough. This is good stuff. Well, thank you.
Of course.
What was your name again? Sorry.
Well, I am Professor Percival Lake.
Percival Lake, not a problem. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. I've met so many people in such a short span of time after years. It's a lot. Quite nice. Quite nice.
I can imagine. And how is your noggin holding up? Being alone for that long does things to people.
Well, I wasn't completely alone. This is the first human company I've had in years.
Fair enough. He kind of looks at him and just slowly takes a drag of the cigarette. Well, you seem to check out, so you keep up the good work. Good doctor of whatever it is you're good at. Thank you for the gear.
Anthropologist. So, archaeology.
Oh, my pa is an archaeologist, actually. Good trade.
Good profession.
Good trade.
Good trade.
He says it now.
Right. He'll just kind of put like a hat on top, just like good trade. All right. So you guys are ready to go. Your two civvies are still sleeping. Do you wake them up, or you're just gonna leave them here when you go to talk to these guys?
I think Lena would check on Miss Lexington just to like see how her wound is doing, since she's apparently the only one with much in the way of first aid medical knowledge.
Give me a first aid check.
Sure.
I'll actually help out. I have first aid.
Okay.
Blue.
That is not a success.
All right.
Let me have a look. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's alive. It's fine.
She is alive.
Oh, it says yes. I have a first aid 15.
Nice. So yeah, you notice that her bandage needs changing. It's just, the blood's kind of seeped through, but it seems to have stopped bleeding. It just, you want to change the bandage so it's clean. Don't want to get infected because you don't really have any disinfectants out here except for what's left in Dr. Sebastian's bag, which isn't a lot. So you change the gauze out, change the bandage, and you think she's gonna be fine.
I guess I should be.
With time, she did get shot.
I guess I should be doing more of this. I can't leave it all to you now. I'm actually quite good at this. I have to fix my own hands a few times.
Oh, how are your hands doing? Let me see.
It's. And I'm like, I guess you
All
just
right.
take my hand.
Mm-hmm. Now, he's already been first aided, so if you want to heal it more, you're going to need a medicine check.
Yeah. No, she just wants to look and make sure that he's got it stable.
It
looks like he did fine.
surprisingly well. You did a good job.
Don't patronize me. I can do things.
Better at first aiding than at shooting, apparently. It's okay.
I hate everything.
Look, you're the pilot. We expect you to be good at flying. Anything else is just bonus.
That's what I say about my husband. Just kidding, I love you.
No.
Just gonna clip that.
He's the best person to have in a zombie apocalypse. You get that chopper in and out. But anyways.
That's not making the clip.
All right. So you guys are all heading up. Or are you gonna leave the let sleeping patients lie?
I think if they're still out and resting, we can let them be and attend to our diplomatic mission.
Sure. Sounds great. All right. So you guys all head up the wine stairs. Well, stairs. Ramp. There's no stairs anywhere in here. It's not what elder things use. All right. And that's you might use that, but no. So up the spiral ramp. It gets a little chillier, then it starts to get nice and warm again, because you pass by the entrance. And you guys are you pass through the crystal room, and you can see now that the reflective surface that Dr. Johann had gone through, that the swithering eel had swithered through, and that Ash had tripped through, is now cracked. Probably just from excessive magical foci use. So, that's a thing. Just, you notice that as you pass by and continue heading upwards. And you guys continue up, and you see that there is, after about 30 more feet of winding curves, you find an open chamber. There's a few large crystalline supports, but everything else, all the rest have kind of shattered into dust at this point. You're guessing this is where the kind of schism happened. So it's just it's very, very barely together here. And then you see that there's holes bored through the walls where there's crystals no more, and you see jungle plants. The plants that you've kind of seen are twisted and knotted hungrily around each other, kind of creaking and that pulsing that almost reminds you of a heartbeat. And almost as if it's just kind of slowly breathing. And they're wrapping around the crystal struts, snaking up the walls, and they're just very domineering. And you kind of pass through almost a curtain of these vines, and like a warm, humid mist kind of hits you guys. You see in the center is a massive structure of what looks to be maybe at one point the center of this crystal matrices. So you see bits of crystal and stone, but encapsulating it is living tissue. It smells like you smell the sickly sweet scent of rot, both plant and animal. The moisture is just glistening on the walls, dripping down these plants. The floor itself is probably about an inch or two of liquid. You can't quite say it's water. Fluid. Fluid's probably the best term to use. It's slightly, not quite gel-like, but you hear the splashing as you guys kind of walk through it. It's slightly greenish brown with tinges of red in color. There's more foliage here. You're guessing this is a December chamber. Like fronds of what seem to be maybe ancient ferns and stuff. A thin web of slimy tendrils just kind of sneaking around. You can see them just slowly moving and growing, embedding themselves into some of the deeper puddles, and you can see the liquid slowly pulse up as if they're just getting their nutrients for the day. And in the massive flesh-encased crystal in the center is, you get a little closer, and it's kind of got a mucus membrane over the whole thing. Notice that the whole crystal on the inside has that blue flicker that reminds you of the pulsing light at the top of the tower. But once you get close enough to make out shapes better, as it's massive, 50 feet high, many, many feet wide, you see that there is a fleshy frame, just bones at the bottom. You're not sure how deep and far around it goes. Some are birds, seals, walruses, and human heads. They all stare blindly in all directions. The ones that are fresher, more recent ones, are kind of blackened and withered and kind of sloughing away at certain points. A few show faint signs of life. These seem to be the ones in the center at eye level. You're guessing based on how this strange creature, plant-like entity works. You put the fresh ones in the center, and as it gets consumed, it gets pushed outwards around it. And inside the center, you see a couple of fresher seals, penguin, and the head of Starkweather. These faces and heads are blinking and moving and articulating, and I'm going to need everyone to make me a sanity check.
Cat of insanity.
Yeah.
God, Lennon, nothing bothers you. Just be affected.
I want to make her sanity check.
I have no explanation.
Living, moving, articulating face and this horrible wall of skulls. It's fine. Nothing I
mean, no big deal.
All right.
Nothing surprises for now.
Who didn't pass?
I didn't pass.
Okay, so Hunter, Hayden. All right. Percival's seen this before, so he's gonna have to make a check. Well, he's seen this a lot of times before, actually. So he's pretty much just, yeah.
He's failed the check a few times before.
Oh, most definitely. So everyone who fails is gonna take 4 points of sanity. I rolled a 4 and a d4, and everyone who passed just takes 1 because it's horrific. I mean, you're gonna lose something. All right. So that's what you guys see. And you have the bowl. Now, question. Did you bring Sebastian's body with you?
I did bring Sebastian.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did say you picked him up.
I picked him up and brought him with us. And I'm standing there holding him, looking at this thing, and I spot Starkweather.
Yep.
And you can just see, looks like a lot of the fight just drains out of Hunter. Just
Mm-hmm.
3 people.
You can just make it out. You're still a decent distance away, but you can tell that it's it's the only fresh human face for quite some time. Everything else is just bones and further away. And there's a ton of seal skulls here.
Well, once I see what I think looks like Starkweather, I'll take some steps closer so that I can get a good look and confirm it, and stand there and look at him for a moment and then just shake my head and resign to the fate.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll turn and walk back to the group.
All right. So, getting closer to it, you can see that this whole kind of mucous membrane-esque vibe that's going on here. You can see that there's just fluid kind of coating everything. It's just layers and layers of this fluid that's kind of maybe a preservative of some type helping it last, maybe nutrients. It's hard to tell, but he's just got rivulets of it coming out from his eyes and mouth, and they definitely make eye contact with you. It seems that he is still somewhat aware, perhaps. It's difficult to say. Can you spot hidden checks, please?
Who, me? Or
Everybody. Just everyone in this room.
Didn't notice anything this time.
I just failed.
Baxter made it? Alright.
nope, my attention would have been drawn to Starkweather. I didn't notice anything else.
That makes sense. Alright. So, Baxter. You're the only person who made this check. You kind of look around and you're basically just trying to not look at this thing in the center, this massive tree-like, crystal-like structure.
On point.
And you see movement elsewhere in the room, and not the slow, creeping, fine tendrils going into the pools of liquid on the floor. Pools of fluid. It looks like a mass of vines. No, that's not vines. Oh, are those eyes? You see a massive greenish, blackish, vine-like creature, but they're not quite vines. They look more akin to tentacles, and it's got just hundreds of eyes. And it's hard, you can't see them all at once. It's only when you look where the vines are moving. And this looks a lot like a less fluidy version of what Lois smooched, and a much larger version of one of those tiny little things you found in the jars in the living quarters. You would assume this is a shoggoth of some type. You're the only one who's noticed it, so it would seem. You see that. It hasn't seemed to notice you guys yet, as it is rolled very
also
rapidly.
past that, by the way.
Oh, you did too? All right, Ash,
Yeah.
you see this too. Now, you recognize shoggoths to a certain extent, but the ones that are in your horrible future are encased in machines and are used to just kind of power them. And they have like lasers on their backs and stuff, so, and they're like really dark black and red. So they look different. This one looks different than the ones you've seen before. But it looks like an offshoot, maybe the same kind of family. I've seen shoggoths.
Fair. I was not prepared for mecha shoggoths, I'll be honest.
Yeah, the future, the post-apocalypse Nazi eldritch future has mecha shoggoths, guys. So it's real bad. You should probably stop it.
Isn't there a game for that?
Yeah, this
Isn't there
is a
game
terrifying
for that?
future.
I'm gonna make a video to give about it. We're all done. It's fine.
Kaiju shoggoths. Is that and we
Kaiju
fight them in Mecha?
Yeah.
Here for it.
We're gonna call it Atlantic Rim. Maybe Antarctic Rim? We'll see. I'm working on the title still. Yeah, you two see the shoggoth in the corner. It appears to be doing, you don't spook it by going like, shoggoth, which you don't seem to have done. It appears to be doing gardening work? Maintenance? It's moving some of the vines of this creature from fluid pool to fluid pool, pulling a couple of maybe slightly more brownish dead strands that don't seem to be pulsing off. Maybe this is a gardener shoggoth? You do remember, Baxter, that Percival Lake said certain shoggoths were bred for certain purposes, and that the one wouldn't leave the pool, the cistern that it was in, as it was specifically a corpse eater shoggoth. So maybe this shoggoth's job is to deal with the plant. You're not sure.
The boyfriend?
Yes, he is. He hasn't seen the shoggoth, though. He rolled a 98 on his spot hidden, and then the shoggoth rolled a 100. So they don't see each other.
There's many eyes and you see nothing.
He's very busy.
They're
He's very
busy, okay?
He takes great pride in his pruning of this eldritch guardian plant.
There's like one piece that keeps falling off and you keep trying to stick it back on and it falls off again.
It's just him pruning it. And he's doing like 6 things at once.
The boss will give me a raise.
Yeah. The shoggoth is chosen for employee of the month. Let them work.
Well, he's the only gardener shoggoth, so he's always employee of the month, but he really wants there to be someone else so that it actually means something. He's really
this backstory. Backstory.
Deep NPC backstory right here.
One job in the garden, and I'm going to do it. Damn it!
Yeah.
Gotta respect
They make me employee of the month, but I'm the only employee, so it doesn't mean anything. It's so low. I need a coworker.
We're here for you, buddy.
You did. Around, that's screeching like a mad thing.
Gardener, cue the gardener shoggoth fanfic.
He needs to improve me.
Tried to hook up with the corpse eater shoggoth, but was just too much of an introvert. Wouldn't leave the cistern. Never could go out for dinner.
It was the toughest one to smooch in the whole game.
You know, we have arrived at the point in the campaign where we're shipping the shoggoths.
Yep. Welcome to Call of Cthulhu, where you lose sanity. Things happen.
Smooch is
Smooch is nice. So, Ash and Baxter, the only two people who see this poor, hardworking gardener, lonely gardener shoggoth, working on this plant creature. That's the movement you see.
So, I'll put a hand up to the rest.
Huh?
Like,
Yeah, because they pay attention to sound and movement, so you're like, slow motions. If you can't see you can't eat you.
It's like a T-Rex.
like, only point with both fingers to it.
And Baxter's doing the same. So you see those two just quietly and slowly point.
Yeah, with clear vision, Baxter's doing this whole like the expression. It hasn't
I think
noticed us.
So we should be quiet. Yes.
Percival looks around with his really poorly done spot hidden check, and then he finally sees it. He goes, "Oh, that's Basil. It has a name." Well, he doesn't really have a name. It's technically slave to the other things, but I'd give it a nickname because he works so hard. He doesn't get recognized for it. As long
I have several questions for you, Ash, but I will ask them later.
Very well. We'll talk about this.
As long as you don't try to hurt the structure plant, as long as you don't hurt anything, he'll leave us alone. Especially since we've got kind of the hole. We're coming to repair it. Yes, so he'll he's actually necessary for the connection process.
So,
Right.
do we talk to him?
I don't. He looks busy right now. I don't really want to bother him. But we should start approaching. He'll notice us when we go a bit further in, as long as he doesn't critically fail again.
What?
I think Hayden here is like,
so knowledgeable, Percival.
Hayden like clears his throat loudly.
Okay, he only rolled a 77 that time, so he still fails, but he fails not critically. So you see, like, he's just kind of like tying like this vine to this trellis thing, and then it like stops, and then you see these tentacles like all move around. Way better than that, but
Not possible. Not possible.
and he just kind of slurps around, and you see a bunch of eyes, like the vines they're kind of like chill and resting, kind of like Tangela Pokemon, just kind of like whoop. And you can just see the eyes a little bit, and they all kind of like separate a little bit, and you see just hundreds of eyes. And this would be more disturbing if you already hadn't seen a shoggoth, but you've seen him now, so it's not that bad. It's just unnerving more than anything at this point. And it kind of like, it doesn't have legs, so it just kind of almost rolls, but it's strange because even though its tentacles are kind of rolling towards you, the eyes don't really seem to move. It's a little disconcerting. And it rolls over like to you guys, and Percival's like, hello, Basil. I know you don't speak English. I don't know if you actually speak. I'm not going to assume you're stupid. We've got components. And these are my friends. They're assisting. And he'll kind of pull up one of his flash carts, and you see the back says friends, and then he kind of gestures, and then he points to the thing, and you see one of some of the tentacles point downstairs, and he's like, no, and he pulls out helping, and then you see the tentacles and then it just rolls towards the tree, like they were gonna take him downstairs and get the heads removed, and he's like, no, friends, they're friends.
Not that kind of helping.
This is the second process. You know this. Go downstairs.
We've done this before, Percival.
Basil's like, I know he's kind of stupid, but...
And as it kind of rolls through this chamber, through the liquid, it's almost there's more liquid in the center. It's kind of like, pools, and so you hear like a... as it just kind of rolls through the liquid. You're welcome. And you kind of hear a low and a few. He's just calling. That's just calling the elder things. Cause
Have you given them names?
no, they're not partial to them. So Basil's much more reasonable. Similar intelligence, really, I think.
How do you tell them apart, then?
Well, they kind of rank themselves, usually generally whoever has the most pseudopods, or is the largest ones, or the older ones. You learn to tell the differences, like I was calling him Jimmy, but he's got a scar along his left fractal pseudopod, and but you'll learn to tell them apart.
Okay.
Time.
Right.
They think we all look the same too. Don't worry, it's fine.
Oh, delightful.
It was really. It took a while for them to be able to recognize me. It's just...
That's fair. Well then. I guess we just
so
wait.
We should approach.
Harder.
And so, we'll just very slowly, casually start walking forward. They should be down in a moment. Right.
Lena's like clutching her flashcards. Like, okay, message.
Message, and you're like double checking the order, like, hello, come in peace. Okay, And so you guys approach, and you see 3 elder things as you guys are approaching. This thing's several yards away still, and you kind of gotta you're being very keen. Don't step on the vines. So you're gonna being careful not to step on any of the big pulsating vines. I think bats are very angry. You don't want to see Basil when he's angry. It's not.
No, I imagine not.
It's not pretty. And you see 3 elder things come down the stairs. One of them is larger than the other 2, and one of them does seem to have one of the smaller 2 does seem to have more scars on its left side. Got in a fight with something at some point apparently, so you can kind of tell them apart. Just you're like, okay, tallest, small scarred, small and scarred. Okay, by small, it's still freaking 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
With 14-foot wingspan, but it's not the 8-foot tall one. So they kind of come downstairs, and Percival's like, right, here's when we have to be very nice. And he kind of bows and kind of gestures to do the same.
Oh,
Does
bow.
everyone? And he's not like a sweeping bow. It's kind of just like a respectful kind of
Lowering.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower my head.
Does
Bowing.
everyone lower head bow? Does anyone not?
Definitely bow, but never take my eyes off of them.
Okay. All right. So you get like that like, yeah, I respect you, but I'm a rebel kind of thing.
No, more like I've got an 18 sanity left, so I'm about to snap
okay.
it.
I love it. Love it. Everyone
Yeah.
snaps in different ways. Some people are all about it when they snap. And so everyone does it, and they kind of you hear some very high-pitched whistles, and kind of like almost musical tones. It's not at all harsh like you were really expecting. It's not harsh like when you guys shot one of them and lit a flare and threw it at their babies. This is much more, you would assume, conversational in tone. And you see them kind of like, because they have 5 eyes, like a starfish. 3 of them are always kind of looking at you in different, like, chameleon-esque, like, they do not seem hostile. And you see one of them kind of just, the tall one kind of just moves a tentacle, and another one walks over to what looks like a stone box in the corner, and gently moves like a tendril off of it, opens it up, and you notice that their tentacles, when they're not dead, are very tactile. You're assuming this is how they did some of the dissections. They're much more flexible and delicate to the touch than you would assume they could be. As you see, it picks up some papers that are basically English flashcards with Elder script on the back.
Amazing.
You're assuming that Percival made these for them.
It does say like, "What up, fam?" How's it
What up,
going?
fam?
Hey
I was
guys.
hoping they were preparing at the same time. Like, they're going to come upstairs. We need to make cards.
I really need new cards.
Gosh, there's so many of them. Ugh. All right. Percival kind of like whispers over, this is a good sign they're being polite, not just telepathically communicating. Yes. So they can do that.
Good. Should we start
Yes.
the conversation?
Hello. He pulls up the hello card. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
we
when they
will
pull out the
proceed with
cards, it's way
conversation.
more like graceful because maybe it's because they have like a 5 partitioned brain, but they're like just pulling up the cards like as if like subtitles. So it's just like they're gonna be like index cards, and it says, "Hello, you have come into our home. What is your purpose?"
Okay.
Bathroom.
We're lost. We took
there
a
was a
wrong
yard
turn in
sale?
Australia.
Is that the yard sale?
yeah. Yeah, I think the first message that will come up is explaining we're here to help with repairing, or to help with repairing the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And
we
we
would
need
like
your
to
help.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You
And
see
we
the
need
kind
your
of
help.
You hear that kind of high-pitched whistling again. It still sounds kind of musical. You're not sure if they're tense or not, as you haven't really studied Elder Thing body posture, but they don't seem hostile. They don't seem like ready to attack.
We've seen that. We do know what that looks like.
You've seen 0 to attack mode. You haven't seen anything else. And dead. You've seen 0 to attack mode and dead. So you see them pull up cards. You're like, and it says, "You wish to help, yet you employ violence against us."
Oh shit. That's what the sorry card is for, I guess. Yeah, so we'll go down the we apologize train.
Big misunderstanding. Thought you were the enemy. Didn't realize that the big squiggle downstairs is the bad thing.
Yeah.
Percival made sure that apology was very long and well thought out and explained. That's probably longer than the pitch is. But it's the most grovelly bit.
Yeah, and there's probably special emphasis on the most grovelly bits.
Yes. It's bold italicized.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
and
you see them kind of think about it for a second, and this time you see like a couple of the eyes kind of look between each other and look at you all, particularly Hunter, Hayden, and Baxter, more intensely. As I see who's packing the big guns. And been shooting.
Lynn, are you reading these cards out, or are you just showing them the cards?
I think she would be for the benefit of the room.
Okay. So yeah,
be
Hunter
reading the message aloud.
Yeah, Hunter holding Sebastian. Yeah, that was all me. You can see how his manners kind of changed a little bit. Well, probably a lot from what you're used to. Yeah, that was all me. I'll take the blame off for that one. That was me 100%.
And then they see them. And then you're like, "We brought, components to help fix as a gesture of goodwill."
Yeah. Exactly.
And Percival will he'll take a step forward to present the bull. You see them kind of look at each other. Mm-hmm.
When I see Professor Lake hold the bull up, wait, and I'll pass Sebastian to Baxter. Hold him for a moment, and go over to the bowl because I haven't looked at it yet.
No, you haven't. I think only Hayden has, and he regretted it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm low sanity enough now that I will just reach a hand up to this leather cover on it, and I will peel it back just enough for me to see.
Just a peek.
I'm sorry again. I never got to tell you. And I'll cover it and step back again. And I'll take Sebastian.
All right. So he offers the bowl, and you see the elder things. I don't know how much can fit in a bowl. You can't stick 2 skulls in that bowl. So they know it's just one. You hear in your minds, rather than flashcards this time, it almost sounds like many, many voices speaking. But you think it's just one of them? It's different tones, inflections, accents. It's very strange. You hear, "You make an offering of peace. Yet, you have 2 bodies, 2 components. You took one of our own. We will consider entreating with you in this effort to repair the crystal matrices. We require that one's parts as well. And you know that they're referring to Sebastian. It like almost an image conjures when it says that one.
I'll look up at my squid loon here. Is this?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is it doing? What does it look like?
It's kind of looking like it's like reverent, like Papa, not quite like a daddy look, but like, wow, you're so powerful and cool, like it almost in awe, like, you know, someone meeting their creator kind of thing, maybe. Dealio. It looks very respectful and reverent, and it doesn't look like it's talking.
Okay. It catches me off guard, but I'm used to it. Yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Sebastian's body. We offer it up as we understand our mistake and wish to make amends going forward, so that we can both keep this structure secure.
And I'll
So they
walk
kind of
forward.
look at each other. Mm-hmm.
I'll take about 3 steps forward and gently lay Sebastian on the ground and, yeah, what he said. Step back.
All right. One of the elder things comes for. You see what pulls up the cards. Smarter than most humans.
I think there's like a thank you card.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And,
we try.
Basil,
Zach was like
the guard-
high five, sick burn.
Basil will actually kind of roll over and pick up Sebastian's body and roll downstairs. Or down the... I keep saying stairs. Down the ramp! There's no stairs in here. Down the ramp, because he's got to take him down to what he wanted to be his girlfriend, the corpse eater shoggoths. So... He'll roll him down there.
5 minutes later, we're here.
He was alive.
He's alive the whole time now. All right, so he'll take him down to be prepared. You can't just hook up a fresh body like that. You gotta prepare it first. And one of the smaller, unscarred elder thing will reach out, and you see these tentacles extend farther than you thought they did. They just seem to lose some of their rigidity. So not effective in combat, but snakes out and from 15 feet away takes the bowl, cocks its head, and then sets it down next to the wall. And kind of just gestures. Like, alright, you guys hook it up.
I
Look to Percival. Do we
Percival's
know
is
how
like,
this?
I can. It's not difficult. It pretty much just. Oops. So
All right.
you don't have to do. So you can stay here, Lena. I'll take care of it.
Of course.
I'm curious.
Ash, you want to go up there with him?
Yeah, we'll go up there. He wants to know what's going on here. He's just met these people who've just offered bodies to these.
Oh, you
weird
don't even know
tentacle
what's in the
things.
bowl.
No.
You didn't look at it. Okay, this is gonna be great.
I don't know what's
Oh,
going
God.
on. I'm just sitting them carry off a
You're just
dead
like,
guy
they need
and,
bodies. Okay, and they took it down. Okay, whatever. So
It's all pretty messed up
See-
to my head.
you walk up with Percival, and you see that there's a fresh, some fresh faces on the wall. Sorry, that was funny. I laugh at my own jokes, folks.
Someone has to.
Thank you. And he walks up you walk up with him, and you see there's several empty spaces on this wall where there's no skulls or faces, fresh or otherwise. And he pulls back the leather penguin skin covering, and inside this bowl, you see the head and perfectly, completely intact nervous system. What appears to be a young woman in her 20s. Peaceful expression in her face, which is it's surprising. And I need you to make me a sanity check. As it's just a bundles and piles of nerves, spinal cord, but everything from here up is completely intact, so they can gauge freshness.
It's a 9. That's a very good success.
You are perturbed, maybe slightly disturbed, but you're not shaken. You've seen worse things in the war than what you're currently fighting against. Not much worse, but worse.
I've seen
based on those skulls in the wall, you kind of put 2 and 2 together. You just weren't expecting the full nervous system attached to it. And you see he kind of picks it up very gently, very gingerly, almost as if he was cradling a baby. He says, "Could you move that leaf aside there?" And he kind of gestures to a spot on the wall.
He says, and he'll move the leaf aside.
Move the leaf. It is wet and sticky and almost cold to the touch, clammy. And you see that there is an empty space. And he kind of just picks up the spinal column, and as he begins to feed it into this spot on the wall, you see the tendrils, much like the ones that are drinking from the pools of liquid on the floor, grab the ends of the nerves, kind of twine themselves around, and pull it in, and start to kind of pull it taut on the wall. And once her base of her neck is into this strange plant type creature, you see her eyes pop open and her mouth pops open. And I'm gonna need another sanity check, as that's startling and surprising. You good? All right.
I'm good.
I'm sure Lena was paying attention, so she's just gonna back there. Percy's seen this before, and he's fine. Surprisingly.
So Hunter's taking a couple steps up to stand a little aside Lena, just in case. But yeah, that's a fail.
All right. So anyone who fails, it's just a D2. So let me. You're gonna take 2 points of sanity if you fail. 0 on a success.
I stayed downstairs with the shoggoth.
Okay.
People.
So you went downstairs with Basil?
No, with the tentacle things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're like, I'm not paying attention to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and speak with them if I can.
Okay, sure. You can talk to the elder things.
Yeah, that was the other things.
Let's have a smoke with him.
Yeah, you wanna?
Don't mind if I smoke in your super secret plant room.
Have you heard of me?
Give them a headshot.
Gotta do things on your wall.
Intergalactic stories speak of you.
Hold on.
Yeah, so
hold on.
Headshot on their wall.
So while everyone's kind of glued to what's happening at the wall, and it's almost as if Lena's head is trying to take a couple of gasps of air before realizing can't, and it just kind of just looks around at everybody. Hayden, you're gonna try to talk with these things? You got the big one and the scarred one. Down here with you.
Does the scarred one look like it's scarred from the conflict?
No, this is not fresh scarring. This one does not look like it was the one you shot up by the nursery. This one, these appear to be older scars. Maybe some one of the conflicts with the original Percival Lakes camp, because there was some blood on both sides there. A couple were killed, so maybe it was scarring from that, or from before, because they were frozen in ice.
I'm gonna speak out loud, so I don't know if I can speak in my head, and I just say, please forgive me. I don't have the cards. Would it be possible for us to communicate?
You see one kind of give a side eye to the other one, and you see the large one. A very thin tendril kind of comes forth and then oops you on the forehead. And at that point, I need you to make me power check, please.
A whole new world. Nope.
All right. So you have a mental connection with this thing, so you can understand each other's bizarre, extraordinarily complicated language and your simple, dumb human speak. But you're also, as a side effect of this presence is just so much stronger and overwhelming than anything you've felt before. You're kind of in awe of it, and Irvin's. So that's the side effect of losing the power roll is you just like, wow, this thing is wow.
I think I fall to my knees and I'm just like, I had no idea. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't know. I just like, yes, get past that point.
Yeah, it's basically just waiting. That's what you get. I guess you know.
Yeah. Yes, get back. Yes, I'm amazing. I'm good. Yeah, okay, good. You've got yourself.
We made you.
You good now? You good?
We got this a lot when we first moved in.
It's just funny. It's like, yes, it takes 5 minutes. I know.
You're like, look, can I have your headshot?
It's signed an elder cipher.
Elder cipher.
There's a fucking piece of dirt. I say I was able to somehow use the crystals in the other room somehow miraculously. I saw what is to come if one of our members, you saw them before, they were pretending to be on our side, but really are wishing to harness this place and make a deal with that creature that you keep locked up. I was also able to find a way to, and I kind of go into my pockets and I take out the pieces of paper. With this ritual and with bodies from the camp that I know that they inhabit, we could do it so that we will no longer need to scavenge for organic material, but we'll have a long-lasting fix if you will grant us your aid in this. I believe we can solve the problem permanently.
Give me a charm or persuasion check.
Yay!
Just to see how nice about this
You are
they are.
super charming, right? Right?
No.
You're charming and persuasive.
No.
Fuck.
I didn't know how this game worked.
Oh, damn it.
I'm like, I'm gonna fight other things. I don't need to charm people.
Surprise! You still haven't fought anything.
Oof.
Oh, that's a 98.
Super fail.
Yeah, that's not great for you.
You try to take it out a headshot again.
So you're just get blathering, gushing about it, and then just and so you kind of get the feeling like a sigh, like a simple creature, like it's just like you're rambling kind of sigh, and you just hear, "Let me see," and then because that connection you two currently have and the failed power check, it basically just you see your entire life flash before your eyes as it just scans your brain, basically.
This feels weird, but also so good.
All of it. I need you to make me another power check just to see how well you. Yeah.
Can we use them?
Yeah. We're gonna use power instead of sanity, unless you want to use sanity. Excellent.
I fucking focus on what I need.
You're like,
no, don't look at that. No,
your brain doesn't melt. They still see everything. Your brain just doesn't. I don't ask you to roll a d20. You don't want that ever asked.
They don't scramble your brain can.
They don't scramble your brains. You aren't strong enough to resist that connection, like just letting them have full access, but you are strong enough to withstand it. Hayden Stewart, ace pilot, to withstand it. So
If
you're going to lose
alien interaction.
2 points of sanity and 1 HP from just basically forcefully seeing your entire life flash before your eyes. Certain parts go over again, like basically everything since getting to Antarctica and New York, and the ritual several times played over and over and over and over again, and the Nazi future over and over and over again. They watched the mechanized shoggoths a few times, not gonna lie. They watched the mecha shoggoths.
They put rewind on that thing. Yeah, play it again.
Rewind on that shit. They're like, hold on.
Like, wait a second. Go back.
Mecha shoggoths. Lasers and armor. Okay.
Zoom in. Enhance.
Mechanizing these creatures? What the fuck?
We gave up technology a long time ago. We could probably biochemically make something like this. Okay.
Ooh, I found
So
the
actually-
bonus features.
Oh, yeah. Basically. And then they withdraw
What's a
from your brain
headshot?
once they've seen everything. Literally everything. And Hayden you definitely collapse. You were on your knees, you kind of just go down to like your hands and knees at that point, because that was a lot. And you did pretty
bleeding
well
from
with
my
that.
nose.
Yeah. You're bleeding from a couple orifices. You got like I meant eyeballs and ears.
Mhm.
So you got like a bit of a nosebleed, like a tear of blood running down your face and some coming out of your ears. You could taste a little bit in your mouth too, but
Yeah.
but you got your point across, and it didn't seem upset about it. And it pulls up a flashcard. It's all the flashcards. While everyone else is distracted by this, all takes place in the span of
I've done that in the
seconds.
first place. I can just talk to you. It's like, no,
Yeah, well,
it's
he
fucking
broke the
criminal.
connection before you just literally fret. So you didn't make a good power check, but he broke the connection. He just pulls up a agreed. We will help.
I see this as I spasm on the ground.
Yeah,
He just gave you the elder version of "We're cool."
like,
We good.
all right, you've convinced us.
That's what it's like. You've convinced us. We will have your headshot.
I'm like pulling it out of my pocket. Like,
His new agent.
Oh no, it's awful.
project the films right into the brain.
All right, so everyone hears Hayden kind of fall to his heads and knees and start just like breathing really hard. And it was fairly quiet till just then, and it's only been like enough time to stick Lois right on that
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
She's in place now. First I was like, oh, good, it's accepted.
Yeah, I think Lena has turned away from that after the initial
Yeah.
eye-opening situation.
Yeah.
Hunter stands there and looks.
Mm-hmm. She makes eye contact with you, staring, blinking.
Hey, are you alright?
I'm like,
You see
on my
blood,
back, eyes closed.
Just gonna go over to him and like make sure he's not dying and
He's breathing.
What happened? What are you doing? What happened? Come on.
I spoke with them. They
What?
agreed to help us with
You spoke.
the Germans.
How?
It was.
He's got like a suction cup mark just right in the center of his forehead.
she's gonna like kind of touch that, look at the elder
And-
thing.
And if Dr. Wintercroft was here, you could see that there are fine little indentions that almost look like tiny teeth that would remind him a lot of how those tin cans in the old mess tent were open.
That
Cool.
tin can mystery. Finally solved. Oh god.
If only,
Mhm.
Sebastian. If only.
A sigh of relief comes from the wall. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't do that again.
It's fine. I was able to do something. He agreed. He said it was agreeable.
She's just gonna look up at the elder thing.
It's holding the postcards. It's got enough arms. It's got enough appendages that it can hold like 12 flashcards at once. I mean, honestly, so it's full sentences. Just
yeah, she'll just go back up to the thank you with whatever extended like groveling like thank you very much. The very polite thank you.
It doesn't nod or anything. It just says yes, like we know.
We know.
And,
it's cool.
We get it. Jeez.
and it says supplies and materials will be gathered.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'll probably wander over as well at this point and like look at him, at Hayden on the floor in his state, and like,
I
oh
literally
dear.
saw my life flash before my eyes.
Then you saw how awesome you were, he says, and sort of gives you the thumbs up. So these things can talk. They can communicate. You can communicate. He says and looks at them.
They understand everything we're saying right now.
Oh, that's good.
It's
I'm
us.
a little confused.
We're the ones who are. We're the ones who are a little too stupid to understand them without help.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Makes things really, really self-important. I don't know anything about you, but I'm from the future. He's a bit confused. Do you know anything about that?
They definitely. They definitely have loomed forward, specifically towards Ash. When you're like, "I'm from the future. Do you know anything about that?" They're like, "Oh, really?"
He leans in his,
Perhaps you
really?
I
I can do the ritual. So
You could do the ritual.
it's all I've got a plan with it. But I'm wondering the exact nature of the lines we need to do. It looks like you'd all be very skilled at that. Am I correct in
Yes.
thinking that? Good. Would you help me draw the lines later?
You see the heads kind of just look at each other like this guy.
It's like,
This future guy.
seriously.
He knows everything.
Comes from the future, acts like he knows everything.
This person's perception of time.
I know, right? Like 11 years? You mean like that's you know how insignificant like a century is? Like
You don't even know, man. You don't even know.
try millennia, dude.
Doesn't even register them.
Yeah, they're just like they look at like the clothes and they're like, right. Basically. To a certain extent, like, sure. None of you are in caveman attire. You're from the future. Right. I
love them. I love these guys.
And so they kind of just give each other that look. You hear that high-pitched musical, almost whistling. Percival kind of has a look like, they sound sarcastic. They're being sarcastic. I understand.
And a little louder than probably what he should have said. Reed, I think they like your idea.
I think they love it, mate. I think they love it.
Just look again.
Two tentacles are wiggling and they're like they make these laughing noises.
Yeah. It's just like it's just real like almost tittering.
These humans.
these veggie scraps, man. Look at them. They're the sentience and stuff. So cute. So precious.
Cute.
So
they hold up some signs that says, "Since we created you, we have created many other things. One of them will assist you while we do preparations. You will not be harmed unless you cause harm here." And they kind of just look at Percival and he's like, I'll handle it. And
Yeah.
you see one of them goes over to this looks very similar to that that altar you found in that temple in the city. It's kind of made of that same rock that looked like, remember, like the stars in the sky. You see a box made out of that substance, and you see them open the box, and a black, shadowy being that seems to have pinpricks of starlight, constellations going through it, emerges. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Ta-da! Mystery, spooky. I think it's going to help you. So, yeah, guys, how about that session?
Hayden
I
survived.
like
That's a
that
good idea
they
for a
shunted us
film.
off to their like
They didn't
customer
murder you. I
service rep.
They did. They really did. So we're gonna go around, and I didn't TPK the entire group in 3 sessions. Yay! So
Yeah.
just half of them. Just half of them. So,
It's fine.
so we're gonna go around. We're gonna say who we are, where we can find you online, and what your favorite part of today's episode was. We're gonna start with poor PTSD artist Crumpler64 Baxter. Bless him. He also has lightning powers now, but he hasn't really figured it out yet. He's still. He could be an Emperor Palpatine.
Oh God. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh no.
Anyway, I'm Crump64. I was a player for Baxter Wiggins, the artist. You can find me on Twitter on Crump64, and also you'll find me on Twitch every Sunday night, where I'm currently a Dungeon Master for a D&D 5e Curse of Strahd campaign featuring an all-female cast. And a favorite part, for me, it has to be the discovery of the gardener.
The gardener Shoggoth?
It's just a weird thing for just Baxter and Ash to just the whole thing of just them just like clearly like, we need to spread information. We can't make this sound. Yeah, so if I had to pick up favorite moment, it had to be that where just Ash and Baxter have to work together in silence.
Loved it. Awesome. Yeah, that was a really good moment. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Basil, such a good little gardener Shoggoth. But we also have our new resident insane person, Hunter. How you doing, Jamerson? How's that for you? What's your sanity sitting at now, by the way? How close?
I'm down to 16.
So close.
So,
Okay.
yeah. It's going to start coming through a lot more, and trying to play with that, it's going to be a trip. So, yeah, I am Jamerson across the internets. Hunter Merrill, the no longer barely surviving on survivalist. I think I've crossed that point, and I probably won't be going back anytime in this game unless some miracle happens that this new Reed guy can do again. I don't know. Let's
knows?
see. Yeah. Favorite moment.
Awesome.
The reveal of Basil. This new guy coming in, seeing this whole process, what's actually going on, get some questions answered, and finally finding a point that we know to go, because we were meandering there for a bunch of episodes. So we'll see how well that works out.
Yes. You guys had to learn before you could apply things. There's so much to learn, but now you guys are on a course. And yeah, how are you doing? How are you feeling about that, Lena? Lots of stuff today.
Oh gosh, yes, today was a day. I'm Little Cup of Joe on Twitch and Twitter and Patreon. And I think today, God, I don't know if I can pick a favorite moment. They were all very good. I do love how our new friends have been characterized. They're delightful. They're great. It's been very fun, and getting Ash up to speed as quickly as possible. Bless this poor guy.
I did pretty good on that,
That's
though.
been fun.
Not gonna lie. Awesome. And, of course, we have our super famous pilot who's been in movies and is just an inspiration to all. Hayden Stewart in the flesh.
I think that's my favorite moment. Just that I'm gonna make this person feel better about themselves by just lying about their life. Just fucking great. I love it. I have been Hayden Stewart, ace pilot, elder god favorite child. That's my new title now. Catch me on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. I had lots of fun. You can catch me doing a slew of things all over, including in a bit right behind my channel playing some Monster Hearts. So it's going to be super fun and a teen drama accent. Yeah, just the Elder God connection is great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, cousin. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have not the good doctor with us, but our new cheerful and enthusiastic occultist. How are you, Hollow?
I'm very good. I'm here. I'm enthusiastic. I'm an occultist. I'm from the future. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really, really fun. I thought it was great to sort of bring a very different, less dour approach to sort of the group in this time of need, and somebody very clueless about what's been going on this entire time and the horrors they've been seeing. It's been interesting. I think I've had a few favorite moments in this. The garden was definitely one with Baxter just kind of slowly gesturing laser shoggoths. That was insane. And also, I think definitely the God Save the Queen moment with Hayden and sort of making him feel good about himself. But I think one of my favorite moments that stands out particularly, even though it wasn't really a big moment for me per se, was being stood directly next to Lena giving Hayden a really motivational, emotional speech whilst my character was just there like, yep.
So I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
That wasn't awkward at all.
This is healthy. But aside from that, I'm Hollowtail. You can find me on YouTube at A Hollowtail, where I do a load of different types of videos, from lore videos, currently on D&D and the Forgotten Realms, and also do little DM tip videos and analysis videos there as well. So that's always fun. And also you can find me on Twitch at Twitch Hollowtail, where I run a Victorian horror campaign featuring some of the lovely cast here, and also where I'm running a few other games that are coming up as well. So see you over there if you do tune in. And of course, here every week with this amazing show. So thank you.
Awesome. And I'm Lindy, Laugh Love Lindy. I am the keeper here. I have many favorite moments. I really liked Baxter and Hunter's talk, where Baxter is like, "This is my drama," and just dealing with that. Everyone had some really good moments today, and I was really happy to finally get to the Wall of Skulls, because that was it's just some great visual descriptions there that I've been waiting for a very long time. No one upstairs all the way, or up ramp all the way, but now we have, and it's great. So yeah, I just can't wait for more. Can't wait for more of that. We got some interesting things coming next week, because it's gonna start. You gotta start planning how to fight Nazis so they don't have mechanized laser shoggoths, because that sounds terrifying yet kind of awesome, but terrifying, mostly terrifying. Yeah, you can find me online, Laugh Love Lindy. I DM here every Tuesday for Tentacle Tuesday. You can find me here tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 5 p.m. for our first episode of Cult Divinity Lost. I've made a horrible character. They are terrible people. You should go watch them and cheer them on. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited about it. And, of course, tomorrow night on Tales from the Grim, on May Black Roses Bloom. Of course, I also run Spooky Ravenloft stuff on my channel. I'm all about spook, guys. But thank you all so much for watching, and Architect Origins for that donation. You got to see the glimpse of this insanely powerful astral being that might be a cameo from a previous campaign, but you will get to meet them in full realization next week. Till then, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be here laughing when you do. Goodbye!